2 months have passed since the release of Kushina. During this time, the whole family got used to double or triple intimacy. It can also be remembered that Naruto announced his power, and then immediately proved by defeating the 5 Kage during the Chunin exam, which was held in Kumo. And after that day, he became constantly busy, mainly helping Tsunade as her deputy, whose position he was persuaded to take. Even so, he spent time with his family for at least an hour, and if business allowed him to leave the clone, then all day. Uzumaki Namake's family house, kitchen. Mom, when do you think your brother will be given a vacation? I don't even know, dear. And what is it? At the moment, these two are fluttering around the stove, preparing another culinary masterpiece. Well, at least that's what Naruto calls their cooking. It's just that in the last few days he comes very tired. He took on too much when he decided to assert his strength. Worried. I understand you. When your father was appointed Hokage, he also came home late and tired. But Naruto, unlike him, even with all his work, finds strength and time for us. Decided. Mom? So, Akemi, after dinner is ready, you personally bring it to Naruto, and at this time I will knock out a vacation from Tsunade. And then we go to buy hashtag, and also hashtag, he should like it. That's good. For my brother's sake, I agree to anything. Residents of the Hokage. POV Naruto. HAA, and why did I agree? It looks more like I'm not the Hokage's deputy, but I'm the Hokage myself. Well, Bachan, I'll find a way to deal with you, don't worry, haha. I was about to think further about the punishment for Bachan, but then there was a knock on the door. Come in. Hello, brother. I brought you something to eat, or I'm sure you've worked hard again. Aki came into the office, dressed in a white t-shirt and tight shorts. And Akemi, well, there is such a thing. What do we have today? I said, rubbing the back of my head. TZ, you don't take care of yourself at all. Carrie. How cute she is, turned away and puffed out her cheeks, so he would have squeezed. BRR not now. Carrie? Oh, yes, according to your favorite recipe. But maybe I should eat everything myself? Girl, you'd better not joke. I can punish you. Oh well, and how well? What a flirtatious voice. Well, he openly mocks. Now let's see what kind of voice you will have. I move to her and press her against the wall and pull her into a kiss, to which she responds. Not stopping there, I lift up my t-shirt and begin to rub her chest. How moaning, what a joy for my ears. Well, now break the kiss and remove your hands, go to the table, on which there is already a portion of curry. Leaving it wound up. Be brother? I told you, don't duffel me. Stop talking with your mouth full. How long do my mother and I have to repeat this? Well, I'm sorry, you know how I feel about curry according to your recipe. This can be compared to your love for ramen from Old Man Tucci. Tisk, okay, but what I started needs to finish. That's why I'm going to continue sorting out the papers fifth, and I'll finish with you at home. Oh, how angry I am, I'm already blushing. Okay, mocking is of course good, but you need to know the limit. Climb into the glove box and take out a jar of pills. Here, these are special pills for you and your mother. They can temporarily calm down your flower. Well, at least there should be enough time before I take care of you. How long have you developed them, and are they definitely safe? If you take no more than one a day, then everything will be fine. You want the full story, without censorship? Then rush to my Patreon. For just $4 a month, you unlock over 380 episodes of epic fan stories. From fandoms you've never even heard of. From classics like Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, to One Punch Man, DxD, and tons of taboo crossovers found nowhere else. Link in the description, or pinned comment. Subscribe now, and drown in unfiltered adult heat. One sub, the entire NSFW multiverse, in your pocket. Kurama, please make sure that she tells everything to her mother correctly, and she herself did not forget about it. As you say, you don't trust me at all? Of course I do, it's just reassurance. I don't want anything to happen to you. Ha, okay, I'm going. Just please do not forget about your health. We are worried. She spoke the second half of the sentence almost when she came out. For your health. Heh. NPOV Naruto. Evening of the same day. I'm home. Where are you going? The man asked when he saw two Furies running around the house, collecting things. Ha! And Nara is you, in general. We want to surprise you. You will find out where and when Tsunade has. Akemi, did you take everything? Almost. A little more. It came from the second floor. Let's hurry. Naruto stood in a stupor for 3 minutes, during which time the girls managed to get ready and were already putting on their shoes. So stop. As long as the two of you are fine, you can't explain everything to me. No one will go anywhere. Brother, what are you talking about? We just want to prepare for your arrival. Where? To rest, dear. Who told you about this? If I don't know when I have a vacation? I knocked him out of Tsunade myself. We can't say more, the surprise will go bad. Everything else you will learn after a while personally from Tsuna. But don't worry about our defense. Have you forgotten who we are? Although I suffered during the resealing of the fox, I am good for a strong chunin. I am generally silent about your sister. And brother, don't rely on Ku. I've already talked everything over with him, so he's on our side. And about the clones. Chu will dispel them. Asterisk. Black small square, Kurama? Black small square. I'm sorry, buddy, but what they're going to do will only do good. Black small square. Traitor, black small square. Alright, you live here, let's go. After kissing him on the cheeks, they moved away in a direction known only to them. TSK, we played it safe. We put up a barrier. The barrier itself was put up by Mom, but you feed it Ku, right? Forgive me, and don't worry so much, you know they're not weak shinobi. Ha, you're right, of course, but I'm afraid what might happen to them because of the lack of a cure. Moreover, they are used to receiving it. It's my own fault. I should have taught them to endure. I wanted to do this, but this incident happened. The only thing I can advise you is to wait, and the barrier has fallen. Yes, I already understand, but it's useless to catch up with them asterisk. The guy was currently sitting in the hall and reading a book. A day has passed since his family fled somewhere. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Approaching and opening it, the guy saw a black-haired girl. Huh? Mikoto-san? Do you need something? Hello, Naruto-kun. Where did your mother go? It's just that today she usually comes to me for tea, but she never showed up, and when she came here, she didn't find her at home, several times. Well, how to say, I don't know where Mom is. Yesterday she and her sister went somewhere, to prepare someplace. As they said, I don't know more. And as I understand it, you don't know anything either. Heh, you usually know every step of the way, but here you missed something. You sent a clone after them, right? I tried, but they thought of everything. As the conversation progressed, Naruto invited the guest into the house, and the conversation took place in the kitchen. That's it. I can't wait to try Kushi as soon as she comes back. Tea? I won't refuse. They talked for another 10 minutes. After all, Mikoto was the best friend of the entire Uzumaki family, and helped them out more than once after Minato's death. After seeing her off to the door with thoughts, what are the girls doing now, I went to bed. An unknown place in the territory of the Land of Fire. Wait a little. I'll take it off now, the blonde said, and a minute later she freed her mother's mouth. Hiya, and how do you go with it? I stained the whole suit. And whose idea was it to add it to the set? How okay am I? Do you think he will like you? Let's hope, Mom. Damn it, all these things are so exciting. Now the girls were lying naked on a double bed, which was a little unusual, but more on that later. I think I know how to help with this, the eldest said and hovered over her daughter. Mom? What are you doing, mm? Before the blonde had time to finish, Kushina lured her into a kiss, simultaneously starting to rub the button of the younger one with one hand and tug at her nipples with the other. MMH, why do you think it will help? Don't worry, I endured this method for years, although the rest remained, but it was tolerable. Now work with your tongue. Akemi did not have time to answer something, as they sat on her face. Oh yes, well done him. After a loud moo, the blonde dodged and pressed her mother's head to her with her legs. It turned out. Do you think she is the smartest? Well, now you will get a surprise in the back. From the scarlet-haired brush, on which there was a space pocket, a cap familiar to both of them was printed. A couple of moments later, he finds himself in the back of the younger one at a time. What the? MMMHRMMGM. She did not have time to do something, as the sash was turned on at full power. Not accustomed to such sensations, the girl tried to remove the foreign object, but her mother prevented her, who held her hands and crossed her legs behind her neck, not wanting to get up from her face and getting a lot of pleasure from it. Therefore, the blonde could only flounder and moo, under the one that now received only pleasure, coming the younger one in her mouth over and over again. After 10 minutes of such torment, the red-haired woman finally got off her head. W, pull it out. Orly H though. I would like to put it in my C dash. Molaya. She could not get used to these sensations and begin to enjoy them. For some reason she subconsciously considered it superfluous, because of which she never experienced an orgasm, although there was a huge puddle under her. Still, the echoes of the vibration reached her button, but they were too weak, which only teased him, and she herself could not pull out the zucchini because of the extreme fatigue and excitement that had been accumulating all day. She could not even move a finger. Well, no, you need to learn how to get full pleasure from the back. So until you at least once, he'll be inside you, Kushina said with a smile, watching her daughter's constantly twitching body. And this is so that she doesn't cheat, she said as she tied the blonde's hands to the head of the bed. So, from whom Yemtu was given love bav to Tisohum. After all, he was right about me, and you were right about your father. I'll do it. That's it. Okay, now let's hurry up, or I'll fall asleep and you'll spend the whole night like this. I was mistaken. She is even more perverted than her brother. Stop. And if he restrained himself? Limiting himself to tying his hands and, in extreme cases, his legs. Help. Asterisk. Another 15 long and painful minutes passed, but Akemi still did not finish. It seemed so unpleasant and foreign to her. All like your father, you don't want to take the back. Okay, I'll take pity on you, but tomorrow you're wearing all the outfit. Pro Estio. Vivida. Cabbage soup. Kushina only smiled at her words, and she brought her hand to her swollen. It's not that simple. Hi-I, 3-I. With sharp jerks, 3 fingers enter, which causes a real fountain of blondie juices, which lasted for 2 minutes. After that, she lost consciousness. What a violent reaction! All right, Zucchini, go back to print. And now, on the side. Yawning, the girl said and fell asleep without untying her daughter. POV Naruto. A week has passed since they left. What can I say? I'm lonely. After all, I was used to their company, and now they both disappeared. Well, at least there is Kurama and Mikoto sometimes came in, and we talked with her about the essentials, at least some variety. And no matter how much I tried to keep Tsunade or Kurama from stickling. When will it end? Well, wait, I'll arrange it for you. Yes. For 3 days they will not be able not only to walk, but even to get out of bed. Even if they have the strength to do so, ropes and fuin will help. I wanted to continue to think of how to punish these mischievous girls, when there was a knock on the door. Opening it, the fifth appeared in front. Tsunade-san? Do you need something? I'm not for long, I just need to convey a message from your family, so here's their message. Kurama, you are allowed to speak, and you also have a 2-week vacation. I'm done, goodbye Tomba. Finally! Black Small Square, Kurama! Speak, Black Small Square. Go to the city of Tanzaku. As soon as you arrive, I'll tell you the way forward. You don't have to take your things, everything will be there. Listening to his words, I put up several barriers around the house and, leaving a note for Mikoto, set off. I got to the city in 3 hours at my maximum speed. Black Small Square. Where next? Black Small Square. Go to the border of the country of rivers from the southern exit. After 60 kilometers you will find a house, they are there. If you go astray I'll help you. Black Small Square. Yes, Black Small Square. And after another 2 hours I finally found this fucking house. And all because of the barriers of my mother's work, which did not allow me to use sensory normally. And finally, the last barrier remained behind which the house was. I was about to break it, when then my sister called out to me. Well, hold on. I dwell around her. Stop! Hold on. I'm only a clone. Just listen. Hurry. In general, what awaits you there is our gratitude to you and my mother, for all your care that you gave us. You will find out more in this letter. He hands me a scroll, which, of course, I take. It is desirable that you read it after you meet the original and your mother. At this point, my task is accomplished. Have a good rest. After these words, she dissipated. Well, now let's find out what they have prepared. So we enter and POV Naruto. As soon as the guy entered the barrier, he saw a 2-story medium-sized house, fenced with a low fence with a gate. But now the guy was not interested in this, but in those who were standing near the gate. At last he saw them and he counted on a different reaction on his part, but not a wand and a trickle of blood from his nose. His girls stood in front, but what they are wearing? Ahem. Let's start with the head, a gag ring, which at this time was closed with a special plug. They were also wearing a short maid's dress, the hem of which was raised to reveal a view of and the dress was also with one nuance, or rather, their chests were completely open, exposing to the world the pink polka dots of the nipples, on which there were now clamps connected by a chain. Also, in addition, they wore black translucent stockings up to the thigh and shoes on a small cobblock. In addition, there were bracelets on their ankles connected by a chain, which blocked the ability to run or take a wide stride. They also had collars that differed. Kushina had a dark burgundy one with a black tip, and Akemi had a turquoise one with a pattern of sakura branches. In addition to the collars, there was another detail. It consisted in the earplugs from which there were chains to the bracelets that were worn on their wrists. The location of the earplugs was also different. If Akemi had it in her flower, then in Kushina's back. In addition, the length of the chains was small, which is why they could not even reach their chests. What the hell are you wearing? The guy shouted when he came to his senses. In response, a finger appeared to him, pointing to the scroll that his sister's clone had given him. Ahem, okay, we'll find out now. With these words, he opened the scroll and began to read. Well, did Nara like our outfit? Ha ha, of course, yes, if you took over the love of such a thing from me, then this is our gift for you and the opportunity to take a break from all the work that Suna threw on you. You can do and order us anything. Collars will help you with this. There is a fuin on them, which, despite the will of the wearer, forces the body to follow the order of the king, which of course you are. Even if the order is to go to buy food in the center of Konoha in this form, smiley face. And Barry, I will say that they also have a temporary seal on them, which will allow them to be removed only at the end of your vacation. The same seal is on the gag, but it can be removed in a week. In addition, this seal has another effect. It manifests itself if you try to remove the object or somehow damage it before the appointed time. If you try to do this, then the carrier will feel hellish pain. I checked and I don't want to experience it anymore. Somehow I wish you a good rest and satisfy the inner sadist that you hid, but I revealed it. With love, your temporary maids Kushi-chan and Aki-chan. P.S. I never managed to accustom Aki to all the delights of the back, but I hope that you can do it. After all, a masochist cannot teach a new masochist. Also throughout the house there are different designs and a chest in the bedroom in which there are various toys, from vibrators to chastity belts, and next to it is a cavity in which there is both an ordinary bikini and latex suits. Where did we get all this? Alas, the secret. Have fun. PSS fuck the scarlet bitch especially hard. Let there be revenge. Akemi. Black small square, what did mom do to her, that she even called her a bitch? Black small square. And whose idea was it? Although I already guess. Meanwhile, the scarlet-haired woman stepped forward. Hiya, okay, can you do anything but intimacy in this form? At these words, the blonde handed him a piece of paper. Cleaning, cooking, and basically everything we did at home before we got dressed in it. All this week we have been practicing to do the things we are used to, all for you, Naru. Don't worry about anything, we decided to do it ourselves and are ready for it, just enjoy your power. But mock this damn masochist to the fullest. Break it. Why are you making her so terrible? And Kushi-chan? At these words, he received something like a laugh from under a gag. All right, you'll give me a tour of the house now, and then we'll take care of your punishment. If that's what you want. And slapping them on the asses, he went to the front door. Want the uncensored 18+ part? $4 per month on Patreon, 380+ hot episodes. At the moment, the family was in the corridor, from which you can get to all the rooms on the first floor. POV Naruto. Well, the house is good, not too rich, but not poor either, perhaps even above average. There are all the amenities for a comfortable life, but come on, now I would have to think about how to punish these pranksters. So everything I want, right? So, on the first day, we will torment them, and then we will probably go away. But if everything is clear with Akemi, then here is Kushina. She showed herself to be a masochist, although wait, she herself confirmed it in that letter. I seem to know how to punish her. So, I've figured out what to do with you. Mom, you go outside and wait there and don't you dare to go into the house, Akemi. You will help me find some things with me while you are. After my words, Kushina went to the door, and my sister remained standing next to me. A few seconds later, a door slam was heard, which meant that the order had been carried out. Great, so you show me where, an aphrodisiac, a blindfold, and a leg brace. After standing for about half a minute, the blondie went to the second floor and I followed her. We went into a medium-sized room, which turned out to be a bedroom, where I noticed an interesting bed, which I would most likely play with it. P.S. He was shown only the first floor, where the kitchen, the main hall and the toilet are located, as well as a couple of guest rooms. But why? And on the second there was also a bathroom and a personal office. So Akemi went to the large chest and bent down to open it, and at the same time, showing her ass because of her short dress. While I was looking at it, although what did I not see there? She began to look for something in the chest. Most likely, this is the same chest that was written about in the letter. Yes, it is not a small wardrobe a meter away from it. finally emerging from it with a bandage and a spacer on which there was some kind of paper. Closing the trunk, my sister came up to me and held out as many things as she could. Great, go get an aphrodisiac and go outside, I'll be there with Kushina. Nodding, she went into the room opposite, and in the meantime, reading the note, I went to the exit. As you may have noticed, there is a fuin on this piece of iron, it is responsible for its weight. The more chakra you pour into the seal, the heavier the thing, the effect is cancelled when the thing is completely removed from us. Heh, that's it, great, I'll spend less rope. But here is the person on whom we will put all this, it seemed to me, or did her eyes curl at the sight of the objects in my hands? So, where are the rope hooks here? She pointed her finger upwards, where I noticed the hooks I needed attached to the support beams. P.S. They are located in something like an open veranda or gazebo, that is, the area in front of the door with a floor and a roof, but without walls. Turn your back to me. She did not hesitate to obey my order, and I went up to her and took out the keys that I had been given during the inspection of the house, and opened the locks that connected the chains of the plug and bracelets on the wrists, thus giving her the ability to raise her arms above her head. After that, I got down at her feet and unhooked the condols that did not allow her to take a full step, and after she took off her suit, of course, on my order, I replaced them with a spacer and weaved 60 kilograms chakra into them. So now it will not go anywhere. Then, with the help of an unsealed rope, I tied her hands to the hooks, thereby making a star out of her. For a while, I caressed her chest and thighs, arousing her even more. Great, here you are, Akemi, come here. My sister came up to me, and in her hands was a jar, as well as a syringe. Which of these is more powerful? She held up 2 fingers. You mean both strong? Nod. Great, you've missed her legs and waist for now, but it's forbidden to touch her hips and with ass. She nodded again, began to perform the task, and in the meantime I began to inject the syringe into the vein. And the effect was not long in coming. After 10 seconds the scarlet-haired woman began to breathe heavily, and the lubricant began to flow down her legs. After a couple of minutes, Akemi finished smearing the areas available to her, and handed the jar to me. Well done, go to the bedroom and wait there, and it is forbidden to move or touch your plug in any way. She went into the house with a heavy sigh. Han knew it, and now let's continue. I turned to my mother and smeared the mixture from the jar on the palm of my hand and began to knead her thighs, at the same time smearing them. And how he moans! But it's okay, soon you will regret that you got so easily aroused. She grunted, when I jerked the plug out. By the way, there were notes of resentment in this half-moan. Yes. I didn't think she was such a pervert. Or is it still the effect of blood? Misunderstandings, and now we need to miss what was liberated. Stop twitching, otherwise you'll stay here for the whole 2 weeks of my vacation. Nope. Don't. I'm going to go crazy. Asterisk. Ha, well, finally she doesn't twitch. Tax, and after 7 minutes and tempting moans, after which she just wanted to shove it in, the lower part of the girl was completely smeared. Only his chest and arms remained. What is it? She attracted my attention, but after my question, I looked into her eyes, where I saw only lust and a plea to be taken care of. Apparently the aphrodisiac is good. Judging by your eyes, do you want me to take care of you? Nod. Grin. Well, it's too early, there is still your upper body left, and then I'll put it in. Black small square, possible black small square. She answered me with a grunt full of sadness, but I did not stand any more. I took care of her chest. After some more time, her entire body was covered with ointment, which made her shine. I also put a bandage on her, depriving her of sight. Well, that's all. The last touch remains. Go to the beams on the opposite and put some seals. So great. And now the question, why do you think I used so much aphrodisiac on you, if I originally wanted to torture you? I said, looking at a naked scarlet-haired girl with a sandy waist and the fourth size of chest. And from her peach folds, rivulets of lubricant had long been flowing down her legs. And all this is only mine. Life can be beautiful. While I was looking at her, she apparently guessed what I wanted to do, as she began to get out of the way. I only turned on the seals, which create a very weak breeze, but for Mom it will be torture. Shinobi already have all sense and touch heightened, including, and if you add an increase in sensitivity, excitement and intensification of the senses when deprived of sight. This breeze getting into the erogenous zones will be beautiful for her. And I've set up a few seals so that she'll blow from all sides. Have fun with you, Mom. NPOV Naruto. The guy watched his mother suffer for another 2 minutes and went to the house on the second floor, where his sister was waiting for him. So great, I've sorted out my mom, and now you can stop mooing, you can communicate through a common subconscious. Go into it and find out everything. A few seconds later. So that's why you didn't let me into it, Naruto said, seeing his sister in the inner world in exactly the same outfit as in real life. And who supports the suit? Of course I know, otherwise you know that in a few hours she would not have been able to stand it, and would have dissipated her suit. But please be quiet if you do something. In this space, you are not alone. Yes, don't worry, only in real life before the meeting. Come on. Reality. So now everything is clear. But now take off your clothes, leave only your stockings, I'll help with the bracelets. A few minutes later the girl was left only in stockings that did not cover the girl's socks and heels, as well as a collar and a gag, but without a plug, which made it easy to see the blonde's mouth. After that, they went to the bed, in which pads were built underneath, as well as in the corners there were bracelets attached to straps that went under the bed. Below or above there will be a photo of 2 beds, their mixture of the bed in front of the Gigi. Lie down, chest down, the guy said, opening the pads, but Akemi remained in place in surprise, and in her gaze one could read her reluctance to approach them. As I understand it, you were tortured here, right? She nodded uncertainly. Well, then I order you to lie down in these pads. After his words, the girl's body twitched, and then went to the bed. Oh! %E**. Stop! No! The blonde tried to say something, but instead of words, you could only hear incomprehensible sounds with a glimpse of letters. But in the end, she ended up on a mattress and soon chained. I didn't think I'd be going to take advantage of your collars so soon. Wherefore thou hast dared to disobey me, for which thou shalt be punished. After his words, the guy went to the chest and began to look for something in it. Black small square, haven't they already forgotten about them? Yes, no. After what I found out, my mother would definitely put it. Yes, here they are. Different types, not bad. Softer or rougher? Let her choose herself. Oh, let's take that too. Okay, this time I'll give you a chance to mitigate the punishment. Choose 1 or 2. If for the first option, unclench and clench your fists, and if for the second, then shake your head. Nothing happened for a few seconds, but then the blondie shook her naked, choosing 2. Well, a whip like that. Of course, it's a pity that they don't whip. Well, okay, and this will do, he said, taking a black leather whip from the chest. Euro carat. Percent ohu. And yen percent. No. Please. Don't. Well, what are you talking about? You agreed to it yourself. I don't know that you also made a big contribution to all this. And now you want soft and gentle intimacy with preliminary caresses as before? Well, no, they themselves untied my hands, again voluntarily, or did all your confidence go away this week with your mother? I'm sorry, but I also want to let off steam sometimes. Just be patient for at least a week, then you can cover me with a 3-story obscenity if you want. While the blonde was listening to all this, tears began to well up in her eyes, and not from resentment at her brother, but from the fact that she was blind and constantly satisfied only herself. Only now did she realize that intimacy had become almost a daily job for him during these months. From time to time, coming home from work, he helped her with this and supported her in difficult moments, and she seemed with him only for the sake of intimacy. She had noticed more than once that he had not yet been satisfied, although she was already exhausted, but he still always stopped when she wanted to. All this time, she was fastidious about his desires. Cammy, what a selfish person I am. After all, I noticed this, but did not pay attention and threw this matter on my mother, and even if I agreed to back, then he still at least measured the button with his fingers. And then she also complained that he was trying to spend more time with his mother than with me. But this is not so. It has always been wrong. Well, at last you have seen the light. You knew? Yes. And I will answer the question in advance. He himself asked me not to bother you about this. But why did you agree? You could have calmly told me and everything would have been different. Yes, but you know how much he takes care of you. And by doing this, I might improve the situation a little, but how do you think your attitude to this would change? No need to answer, I'll tell you myself. You would just start giving him a little more often in other openings besides the flower, no more. You would continue to dislike it. What should I do? Now? Just let him do what he wants, doing all your efforts where possible. Wait. Kurama. Okay. He's right. Akemi was about to go into her thoughts, when she was interrupted by a wave of burning pain coming from her ass. I don't know what you were talking about, but I have to interrupt you because I'm tired of waiting. And now it's time to give you a good whipping. I deserve it. So am I. Ready to accept my punishment. After her thoughts, the blonde lifted her ass as much as possible in her position, exposing it to the blow. Heh, I was really interested in the conversation that you had. Later I will find out from Kurama, but now. And $hashtag $AAA. She felt every odai, every piece of animal skin that cut into her tender slightly tanned body, sometimes hitting her, bringing terrible pain. But she endured. She will not make this mistake again. After a couple of minutes of screaming and spanking, his hips, back, and legs were completely red, and it was easy to tell that the blows were not weak, even if he was holding back his strength. You pleasantly surprised me when you yourself began to expose your hips to a kind of blows. It's time to start numbness. But before that, spread your legs. He spoke and settled down in the back, but did not come in yet. Ghyyyy. The chained woman felt something enter her, but no more than 2 to 3 centimeters, and this thing also settled tightly between her labia. After a couple of seconds, the flesh seemed to stick to this object, completely sealing her, and not allowing a drop to leak out anymore. Now everything is ready, and I will say, for at least a day you will not be able to get pleasure through your flower. It is completely blocked. Oh well. I'll endure. All for you and your mother, *. And indeed, a certain black substance fit tightly to her button, so that even from a meter it could seem as if it was part of her body. Let's begin. One word, after which there was an entrance into the unfinished back, not in the sense that it was not developed, but in the fact that it was completely dry, although usually he abundantly lubricates back with a mixture of her lubricant and his sperm, but now it was completely dry, which caused a huge pain. Oh! And operator. Operator at $% AAA. At one point, lashes joined the extremely rough and deep back, and a clone appeared on the field, which began to ram her at wild speed into her mouth, and Akimi. She is. I didn't mind, she was not only in a flower, trying to touch everything that entered her with her tongue, but also waved her hips, which only made her sit harder. The guy only enjoyed it, so the intercourse of the blonde continued, until one moment. Meanwhile the street. MMY. Kami is unbearable. Akimi, I'll take revenge on you. After all, I'm sure you've deliberately chosen some of the strongest aphrodisiacs we have. Well, at least I'll hope that Naruto herself will let me do it. Stop, itself? Though. Now I, roughly speaking, am his slave. So stop. Stop such thoughts. Dues. I can't. As if I endured the excitement of blood for 2 months, or even more. And this wind to boot. I now hate him. Sonny. Why this diabolical torture? Why not extremely rough taking care of all holes? So stop. And no, someone passes through the barriers. But who? The chakra is familiar. Deuce. We need to call Naruto urgently. But I can't get out without chakra, and if I use it, at least a drop. Fuck, she's already close, I have no choice. I hope that he will at least come to shout. Let's go asterisk.